Welcome back to 5-Minute Drum Lessons, where we get it done in 5 minutes or less. On today's agenda, crashing on the ands. So we already looked at crashing on other beats in the measure. So usually a crash, usually a crash is played on beat 1 of the measure. And we looked at crashing on beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4. But today we're going to actually look at what happens when we want to crash in between those beats on the ands. For example, 1 and 2, 3, 4, if we want to do something like that. So, we're going to look at a couple different beats, and I'm going to try to get through this pretty quickly and keep it straight ahead, and hopefully you'll have a fun thing to work on by the end of the video. So, we're looking at crashing on the and of 1 first. And for this, a regular rock beat, we would play the bass drum on beat 1. But for this example, we're not going to do that. We're going to just play the hi-hat all alone and wait and hold back on the bass drum and then use it with our crash on the and of 1. And then you're going to have beat 2 just as usual. Right after the crash on the end of 1, you come back to the hi-hat and the snare for beat 2. So it looks like this. 1 and 2. That's it. 1 and 2. And then you continue with your regular beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And I'm demonstrating all this stuff with a basic rock beat kind of outline, but you can, throw in this crash with any beat you're working on and see how it fits in there and see how it sounds. And then you can also, you don't have to do it every bar, you could do it every 2 bars. So it could go 1, just a regular beat, and then 1 and 2, 3, 4, regular bar, and then 1 and 2, 3, 4. And I'm just tapping the crash a little bit just so we can hear where the placement is. You can hit it how you want. You can make it loud if you want to do that. Okay, so moving on to the and of 2. Now on the and of 2, we're gonna keep the bass drum on 1 and 3, but also we want the crash to have a bass drum with it, and the crash is going to be on the and of 2. So our bass drum pattern will be 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You could leave the hi-hat out, or leave the bass drum out on the 3, 1 and 2 and 3, because basically the idea with this is if you're playing a crash and you're throwing your bass drum with the crash, which a lot of the time we do, you don't necessarily have to play the bass drum note that would be just immediately before or immediately after the crash. If you were just playing your beat regularly, you have a little bit of flexibility there where you can leave it out if it comes just after or just before. But that's up to you. So to show you one more time, for the crash on the and of 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And then to put it into a groove, one, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 3, 4, 1. Now, the end of 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, so again, actually, let's keep the bass drum on 3 for this one as well. So we go 1 and 2 and 3, and then crash on the and of 3 with the bass drum, and then 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay. Okay, and then the last one, crash on the end of 4. This one we're gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Yeah, this one's cool because we can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you can play your basic rock beat like the first time, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then crash on the end of 4 and with the bass drum, and then you go 1 hi-hat alone, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's getting a little more into it, but the idea is you play the and of 4 with the crash, the 1 all alone, and then you play the bass drum on the and of 1, 1 and 2 to come back in. Because you crash on the end of 4 with the bass drum, and then you leave that little pause where you just hit the hi-hat on beat 1, and then you come back and 2, and it just has a nice sound. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. And yeah, that's a little idea there. But if you can crash on the end of 2, you can crash on the end of 4 because it's the same movements. You just need to keep the count straight in your head. And same with beat 1 and 3. Hope you got something out of it. Thanks for being here. See you on the next one.